This is Dolany TV MVP! MVP! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 finalists for this year's MVP Award, the Hart Memorial Trophy in the NHL, has just been released. I think I'm a whole 7 minutes behind at this time of this intro. And, well, guys, is it even any shock? No, Leon Draisaitl's not in there, but come on, Connor McDavid is in there for another year consecutive, and guys, it looks great to have him in there. Connor McDavid in there with Nikita Kucherov and Sidney Crosby. So today we're going to break down right off the bat what Connor McDavid did for our Edmonton Oilers this year to deserve that, well, MVP nod right here. Connor McDavid, he's among finalists for the Ted Lindsay, again, an award he's already won several times in his career, if I'm not mistaken. So don't go out here and kid yourself that this is uncharted territory for McDavid. This is exactly what the end result of every single season has been for him. 116 points this year in 78 games played. So for reference, the past 2 years that he's eclipsed 100 points, he played all 82 games. Bang! What a miracle to have even more points in fewer games. 116 in 78. 41 goals tied a career high. 75 assists set a career high. And then a +3. We all know that Ken Hitchcock deployed him way too much late in games where they ended up losing. So let's not get too read into the plus-minus. That's a coaching move right there. Penalty minutes down to the lowest since his rookie year. In fact, on pace, it would be his lowest over an 82-game season in his 4-year career, so fantastic for him. 31 even-strength goals, 9 power play goals, 1 shorthander, 9 game-winning goals. Then you've got the assists, 50-24, 1 split, even-strength power play, shorthanded. Guys, I sit here and I'm trying to make these numbers sound impressive. I don't need to make these numbers sound impressive. We all know that at the end of the day, realistically, no matter what Kucherov, Crosby, anyone does, Connor McDavid should almost be given his own MVP award every single year just for what he does for the Edmonton Oilers alone every single season. So a shooting percentage, highest in his career, 17.1. Absolutely unreal. And then you've got, you've got the time on ice, which he spent 22 minutes and 50 seconds out there. Then you've got the face-offs, which honestly, everybody craps on McDavid, including me, about his face-off percentage. Well, you sit here, 46.6 is his highest in his career. The deployment between Draisaitl and McDavid on the top line, taking face-offs in different zones, I believe led to that, because you see what Draisaitl had for a percentage as well. McDavid, a few or less blocks, but I mean, you know what, you get injured, you get banged up, you start kind of staying back from that. 39 hits this year, career high. Takeaways, 99, and giveaways, this is the thing that cost McDavid a little bit this year. 89 giveaways, but still, don't kid yourself. This guy, our captain, is an MVP candidate without an absolute word of doubt. So we've got a couple other guys to go check the stats of, because this is where it gets really interesting for Connor McDavid. You're going up against a guy who ended up, well, getting 128 points this year, 82 games played, 41 goals, 87 assists. So mind you, 12 points. In terms of 4 games missed, McDavid would have been a lot closer to 128, given the math, than he ended up being. For Nikita Kucherov, 26 even-strength goals, 15 power play goals. Nothing shorthanded, though. Kucherov doesn't kill as many penalties, I don't believe. Even strength, 54 assists. Well, shorthanded, 33. So Kucherov, the only number that's higher is the assist total, so got to remember what he is. But you've also got to remember absolutely the incredible team that was the Tampa Bay Lightning this year. You've got guys like Tyler Johnson, Braden Point, Steven Stamkos, Andrei Vasilevsky, Victor Hedman, many more. Guys, there are way more players to the Tampa Bay Lightning for their success this year than Nikita Kucherov. So we can't go out there and say that even based on the stats for Nikita Kucherov, he did more than Connor McDavid. I'm not sold on that, but we'll get to more of that in just a second. So Sidney Crosby. Let's go talk about Sidney Crosby, who's been playing since, well, my first year watching hockey in 05-06, in which he had a 102-point campaign. He came close to that this year, 100 points this year. So think, Patrick Kane didn't even get a nod. Connor McDavid gets a nod, and his team's nowhere near in the playoffs. So we'll get to the math in a second. For, well, Sidney Crosby at age 31, 23 even strength goals, 12 power play goals for a total of 35 goals, 65 assists. The split there is 46, 17, and 2. That's 46 even, 17 power play, and 2 shorthanded. You see where I'm going with that every time. Shooting percentage, he had a 15.9 shooting percentage, and that's actually his second highest in his career. So for Connor McDavid, or Sidney Crosby, all there. What's going on?
Come drive up Highway 2 to Carstairs turn off. I'm not even there yet, and there's already been 3 vehicles in the ditch, but it looks so hilarious because all the snow's melted out of the median in the center.
Oh, okay.
The highway is like pure summertime dry driving.
Yep.
And then you see a fucking cube van on its side on one side, truck in the ditch on the other side, and an SUV headed the wrong direction.
Okay. Well, that's bizarre, but I'm doing a video right now, so I'll let you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Bye. There you go. You know, sometimes your mom has to check in when she's going up somewhere north. So there we go. Glad to know my mom's doing all right after this southern Alberta storm we had. Guys, pardon the F-bomb in there, but let's get back to the important part where I was making mention of the shooting percentage for both Crosby and McDavid this year. Higher, well, close to high career averages. So 2 guys getting it going on right seasons. But now we get to where I want to do the comparison, guys. This is the important part of the MVP race, in which I think you really have to look at what the Oilers were this year compared to what the Tampa Bay Lightning and Pittsburgh Penguins became. Okay? You see what I'm going there. The Oilers were a team that underachieved. The Oilers were a team that couldn't grab footing. The Oilers were a disaster at times. The Oilers fired their head coach. The Oilers fired their general manager. The Oilers had an interim GM through the trade deadline. The Oilers signed Mikko Koskinen to 3 years, $13.5 million. So, okay, you get the headlines where I'm going with this, right? Pure, utter chaos in the Oilers organization. And because of Connor McDavid, because of Leon Draisaitl, this team finished a lot better than anyone was calling for them to finish, and a lot better than anyone thought they were going to finish. And yet here we are sitting here discussing Connor McDavid might not win the MVP as compared to a Nikita Kucherov, who, yeah, 128 points, sure, but when you've got, like I said, Stamkos, Point, everybody, that's a top line. We were missing a right winger all year for Connor McDavid, right? So right there's where my judgment begins. And then you've got yourself Sidney Crosby, who many times before, but we can say that about Connor McDavid too, so let's not get ourselves there. What I'm saying in terms of the MVP race against Sidney Crosby is just like Nikita Kucherov. You can acclimate all throughout the year and go towards the playoffs, and man, things can look great, absolutely awesome, and then you get swept in the first round. Whippity whip, great, good job, haha, awesome. All that effort went to waste. Whereas with Connor McDavid, the effort there for him was to save the organization on his shoulders from as much embarrassment as possible, and to have somebody as young as him put up as many points and do as much on the ice to get that done is absolutely why I think Connor McDavid, I know it's a 33% chance, I think it's at least a 60% chance that Connor McDavid pulls this out and wins another MVP trophy in the Hart Memorial. Guys, I'm not sure. I think I'm a crazy Oilers homer. Always do. You guys try to pretend like sometimes I don't think that, but Arizona stuff. Anyway, I will leave you with all of that. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Connor McDavid nomination for the Hart Memorial Trophy. I'm Tyson, Stolany TV. As always, I will catch you in the next one.